Hello everyone, this is Marcos again, and today we are here together one more time to record another tutorial. Today it's gonna be time to talk about tables, and to explain that a little better I brought it here some states, so I think that I can explain better what I want. So let's get started. Here in this very first screen, we have the active states, and I mean by that, it's possible to select each checkbox. So we have several of them in this table, and it's possible to select all of them or just one or another. Here we got this other state, it's named selected, and I mean by that I selected all possibilities over here, all checkboxes. Then going ahead, we have this partially selected, and this one is really good. Many people, even let's say entry level, mid-level, even senior level, sometimes interaction designers, UI designers, product designers, they don't take that much attention to this partially selected. I'm going to explain that in deep. So here we selected some of the items of this list, and I'm trying to say that for example, if I go here, like here in this header, if I click here, like let me step back a little. If I click here in this active state, I will have all my items in this table selected. But if I don't want to select all of them, just some of them, I can go straight here like apple. I click here, then I can skip one like orange and click here, pure, and banana, for example. So this header will be partially selected. So this little trace, this little line over here, it means that we are not all selected, we are not all unselected, we are partially selected. I think that you got my point. And let me see here, we have one more state over here. Of course, we have these inactive unselected, because first I showed you the active state, so it's possible to select, but here for some reason, in some situations, that might be a corner case, that might be another possibility. For example, if the screen is processing, because when we talk about applications, that might be mobile applications, web applications, whatever, when we submit some flow, we submit some page, it's necessary to go to the database, and there in the back end, it needs to be processed, you know. The information will arrive there, will be processed, and then will come back to us, and we can see in our screens. Sometimes it takes a little longer, so when that is happening, it's impossible to select something. So that might be one case, right? And inactive and selected, so I can't select anything here, and it's possible to see that my texts, they are a little gray too. So to demonstrate to the user that in this moment it's impossible to select anything, I could even, for example, I could change this title over here as well. That might be a good idea, and do that here too. Here we have another sort of situation. Let's see in details. I selected all the items, and then I have all of them active and selected. But like I said before, a couple of seconds ago, maybe it's processing, maybe I don't have internet connection at the moment, something wrong is happening, and I have to wait for some seconds. So in this case, I can have this sort of corner case, the situation. I have all my elements already selected, but I can't proceed. So I have to cover all these possibilities, all these states, all these flows when I'm designing. Let me press Ctrl Z because I did a little messy here. I moved things and I didn't want. That was not my intention. I didn't intend to do that. So I'm gonna put that back here. So we are going to do all those things now together. I don't know if you realize it. Maybe if you are familiar with my channel, you know the way I like to play. If you don't know, if this is the first tutorial you are seeing over here in my channel, I really recommend you to step back and to see the previous things I already did. Like for example, currently I am in the number 18 tutorial and we have a lot of them. If you step back, go to my YouTube channel and then try to see things over there, you can see many things that I already explained before. And when I was saying like, oh, my thing is to play this way, I don't like to do only interfaces, fancy, beautiful, like, oh, see this, it's a trendy, it's like gradient, you know, it's like skeuomorphic or things like this. I prefer to do real things. When we go to work in real companies, normally all those little details, they might provide a really heavy application, and it will not run in all devices. It will limitate our audience, and there are a lot of problems, you know, going to these fancy, let's say this way, fancy trends. And it doesn't mean that I don't like trends. I do like. I'm doing the basic here, just playing, you know, like the bread and butter, simple things to demonstrate that we can, even with just little things, we can do really useful applications. And it's important to say as well that I'm following the material design elements, material design components. Even we aren't playing with components yet, but the structure, the elements, the way, you know, I'm trying to make this basement, this solid basement. So my intention here is to play with material design. Then in the future we can play with Bootstrap material, we can play with React material or Apple guideline, whatever, you know. And then after we have this solid basement, we can start building our house. But for now, come with me. I will take you for a really good place. So let's start. So let me show here my bars. I talked about that before, so I will not talk in details right now. Okay, as always, I like to think, to wonder, to play with the atomic design. I explained that before. If you are new here, like I said before a couple of minutes ago, I recommend you to step back and to go to see my other tutorials, because over there I explain this concept of atomic design. So here we are talking about atoms, so they can be reused and so on. So here we have this shape, we have some texts, we have some little icons, then we have some shapes over here too, more shapes here, and we have a line here to separate things. Really easy to do. And after that, let me demonstrate real quickly. We start grouping things. So when I join two or more atoms, I will have a molecule. So here we have many molecules. Text and shape, I have a button. Icon and shape, I have a button, a check, an element. I start joining things like title and so. Then when I group many molecules, I have organisms. Like here, organisms like lists, two buttons together. And so after that we got templates, because we don't have real information over here. And finally, after the templates, we put real information. And just to demonstrate, like here, it is like a purchase list. We have food, we have grams, and we have calories. And here I didn't fill properly. I'm sorry about that, because here I'm talking about pages. I should have here how many grams each food has, you know. So we will do that when our time we arrive, but here I can have whatever number, just something like this and this. I think that you got my point. Something like this, this, and I'm not playing with real numbers, just things to, you know, to have real data, even it's dummy data, but you know, you got my point. So it's important to fill up all this information. I will not do that right now because I will spend a precious time while I could be here doing the tutorial, helping you all guys, helping myself too, because like I said before many times, when I record those tutorials, that helps me a lot too, you know, because like I said before, I'm not a native speaker. English is my second language, so every time that I have the opportunity to speak, even though speaking to my computer, that's good because that helps me to improve my English, and you know, it is what it is. I can do like this, I can do like that, but in the end of the day, it's good for both of us. It's a win-win thing. So, okay. So, and finally, I'm talking about states. You know, states. So, let's do the tutorial step by step together. Okay, now showing the UI. I showed that before, so I won't be here every single tutorial explaining the shortcuts because I demonstrated many times, many situations, so I expect you to do that. So let's see the size of this home screen, home page. It is 320,568. So let's go there. I press A, or artboards, or F for frame. Okay, then I click here. I will have something like whatever size. Then I have this W for width and the H for height. So I type here, like I said before. I type here too. Let me see if I can remember. 568. See. Awesome. I remembered. I can name this frame too. Frame is a page, you know what I mean? It's just a page. So I'm gonna call like home. I can name whatever way I want. I can just name it this way. I can use small caps. You know, you decide. So I'm gonna go this way, home. Okay. If I want, I can change its color. I don't know if I showed you before. I can move this bar around. I can change this color too. But for a while, let's go with white anyway. Okay, so we have this part here. Let's have our items. Then we have this title. Title, it's gonna be 16 medium. So let's do that. I'm gonna type title 16, cool, medium, cool, but the typeface I'm gonna go with Roboto to be more standard. Now I can, for instance, I can duplicate this one here, pressing Ctrl D, then I move it around, and I'm gonna go the second one. Second one, that's gonna be, let me see, 14 regular. Okay, I'm gonna use the same typography, just changing 14 and regular, not medium, to be a little lighter. I could even select both of them and I could apply AutoLayout. Do you remember when I showed you how to use AutoLayout? I think you do. I can name this frame like typeface, for example, type, or just type, whatever, you decide. And the layers I can name as well. It's important, like title. This one's gonna be text. I don't know, I have to verify that later. But see, it's not well aligned because I have this possibility of aligning things. I showed you before, but I'm gonna show again really faster. So I can click here to align by the middle, by the center, as you can see. And the distance 32. I press and hold shift, and then I go down arrow. You can see here 8 pixels grid, 8 pixels grid. I can use this here too. Or I can come here, click and move things around. You decide the better way you think it's gonna be. I'm sorry. Then we have this label, blue label and white label. Let me see. This size is 12 and 12, and here we have this blue here. Okay. So let's go there. 12, all caps. I can select here. I press Ctrl D to duplicate. I come here, here. Type settings. I open this part here, and now I have these cases like uppercase, lowercase. We can change it here. Let's go with uppercase, like I told you before. 14. I'm sorry, 12. And I think that was semi-bold, if I'm not wrong. Let's see that. No, it's really bold. So let's go with bold. Bold. Okay, bold. That's gonna be for buttons. And this color 0083 CD, I can copy from here. You can pause the video and to get this color properly. I'm using this blue since the very beginning of my tutorials, but you can use whatever color you decide. Like I normally say, you decide. Your design, your rules. And here I'm gonna change that for white, so it's possible to see white. And I just realized that right now we could have the same sort of shape that I use here. And to do that, we can press A to have frames, or F, and we can draw some frame like this, for example. And the color, let's think about some mid-gray, something like this. We can name this frame like atoms, something like this. Cool. And then I told you before, some tutorials ago, I can decorate a little, like having 8 for, just for a matter of aesthetic. A candy eye candy, I don't remember the right name for that. Eye candy eye, that thing you put into your eyes. Eye candy, I think so. And you are seeing here like atoms and this little name here to home. When I place this page inside of this shape, I won't see anymore its name, right? So have that in mind. And I can't click twice to select this shape. I need to click here, and then I can change its color like here, for example. Okay. When I want to move these AutoLayout is like a group, right? But with more possibilities. But when I want to move my AutoLayout, I have to click here on this name type, and then I move things around. But if I click like in some text like here and I move, I will do this. I will disassemble my text. So I will press Ctrl Z. So to move this AutoLayout, I click here in its name. But when I place my AutoLayout into a frame, then I can move this way, right? And to select a little part, a little element in my auto layout, I click twice, and then I can do the same, but clicking twice, right? Take note of that, that's important. Auto layout is really cool. Okay, so we are doing our atoms, and here let's do this little thing here. Okay, we got like 80, not 88 by almost 5, something like this. So it's gonna be easier to do. We click here, pen, and then we draw something like this. I can press and hold Shift. So I will go like this way, properly. My diagonal. Okay, cool. I will place side by side just to see what else I have to do. I will select both of them here. I will copy and paste here. They are really similar, but this one here, the stroke, it's gonna be 2. In my case, it is 1. By default, it is 1. So we have to increase the stroke. Just this. I can call like check. Color, it's gonna be white. Cool. And then we got one more here. Let me see its size. It's gonna be almost 10, 9. Let's play with 9. 9. Okay. Press. We can use pen or we can use line. They will be the same. Kind 9, stroke 2. Cool. And then we got both of them. I have to name it properly, like partial, something like this. And color, it's gonna be white. Cool. I think that to remember long ago, we were playing with a shape in the background of the icon to align them better, but now we are having these shapes over here, so we don't need to have that here. Let me see, it's gonna be like 16 by 16, you know, 8 pixels grid. So let's copy all of them to speed up what we have to do. So let's copy and place things here. I'm gonna delete this. I can use AutoLayout over here just to organize my items. Shift A, the shortcut. Now I have this frame. I have to center it. Sometimes it's hard to center, you know, you see here, and here. It is because, let me click twice here. This line is center. Let me try to change it. Inside, outside, no. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes that happens. But what I can do over here, I'm gonna call icons at first. Icons. Then I'm gonna increase. I can increase like this. And then let's see if I can have those things better aligned. Not at all. Let me see. It's not a big deal. I have to say that too. It's just some organization, but it's good to have things aligned. This seems okay. Yeah, let's go this way. Okay, cool. Let's do this one here. So press R to rectangle, draw whatever size rectangle. Then click here, change here 16 by 16. It's gonna be automatic because we clicked here before. Constraints. Then we are going to select this black color. 2. It's gonna be the stroke, right? And then we have 2 these border radius, corner radius. Cool, we got that. Really cool. So let me see the name I provided here. Checkbox. It's gonna be checkbox active. A good name, I think. Oops. Checkbox active. A good name, I think so. Now I will duplicate. Control D. I will move around. A mid gray, something like A6, 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 mid gray. This one is gonna be it's not active, it's gonna be inactive. It's a little harder. See, checkbox. I will separate with slashes. Checkbox active unselected, because it's possible to select, right? It's active because I can select, but currently it's unselected. Here we have checkbox, it's different. Inactive unselected. So this word, not exactly this word, this game we're playing right here, it is like between UI designer, a designer that works with design system, and interaction design. We have to think about the interactions, like, oh, the user taps here, selects here, what happens? The interface will behave this way, or the interface will behave in that way. We have to cover all the possibilities. Okay, let's go ahead. We have more. I'm gonna apply AutoLayout here too. Frame is like a group, like I said before, so I can call here checkboxes, for instance. You know, whatever. Here we have, let's name it properly. Let's first apply the colors. Here, I don't want to have any color in the field. I can click here to hide the color, or I can remove, you decide. Here, I don't want to have stroke. So the stroke is going to be none. And the color is going to be this blue. I always play with this blue. You can select other color, like I said before, but in my case, it's going to be like this. So here, we don't have the elements. I'm wrong. I'm sorry about that, but I'm wrong. I was telling like selected, unselected. All of them here will be unselected, right? Makes sense, because I have no icon inside. So this one here, actually this checkbox, it's active and selected. Even I'm not going to have my icon yet, place it inside of that, but when I do that, it will be selected. So we can think this way, but we can find another way to think too. Here we have checkbox, it is inactive. I have to change this color. You can like just select here and try to select something, some color darker and not so bright, right? Something a little grayish might be good. And let's name it here. We have a checkbox. It's not active, it's inactive and unselected. So inactive, unselected. Cool. This one here, it's cool too. Okay, we got all we need. I can delete it here. Now it's time to play with the buttons. So see, it's really cool to play, to think with atoms, because you know it is what it is. It's important to consider them before we jump straight to do some interface, because we can do that, but you know what? Then we get to some corner case, some alley, and we don't know how to get out of that. And if you, and I'm talking about us, like if we have this knowledge of, oh, I know how to play this way, that way, so it's gonna be easier to solve problems that might happen. So let's see the buttons right now. 112 by 35. Press R and draw whatever size. Come here, 112, 35. I think that 8 for be a little round. The stroke, it's gonna be blue. I can, in my case, I can pick the color like this, or I can, you know, use the color the way you want. I demonstrated before how to do that. So I have this button. Normally people call button ghost, but it's active. Button ghost active. And here we have the button ghost inactive. The inactive. Cool. I can pick up the same color I developed. This inactive color over here. See, same color. And I have the field buttons too. So we have to design them. No stroke, but we got this field. We just named button. Button ghost. This one here is button. I'm gonna call field. And here, this one here is active. And this one here is field inactive. Perfect. Same color. Okay. Now we got our buttons. I can delete here. I can select. I can press Shift A to have our auto layout, or I can click here. To remove, I just click here, remove auto layout. And then I press Ctrl Shift G. They will be exactly the same. So, but I want auto layout. I'm gonna call buttons, just for a matter of organizing things. You know what I mean? Cool. So we have our buttons. Now I can even select all of them and I can apply auto layout, and then I can have more space like this. And it's important to have line. Line is also known as divider. I think that might be a good idea. Let's place the elements here to have our items. Like I said before, when I place a auto layout into a frame, a page, I'm not going to see its name anymore. So I can even place this auto layout inside of these two. See, things will be automatically aligned. This is pretty cool to play with auto layout. I think that you won't have any doubt, but if you do, drop me a line, a comment. I can try to help you. Okay, and now we got this line. Line is really simple to do. Let's see, 272 stroke 1, 272 stroke 1. So let's do that. 272 stroke 1. The color is some gray. Let's see, 838383. We are going to have the same color. 838383. I don't know if you know. I don't know if I told you before. I'm gonna call this one divider. I recommend you, when we have this sort of elements like lines, you can step back and see the other tutorials. Like here, see, we have things we can use. Like we just take this line disabled, and we can diminish its stroke and copy and paste. You know, every little detail can speed up our design. But it's not a problem to reinforce, to do even more, to repeat, so we can master that task, that craft, let's say this way. Okay, cool. Now we got this. Let me increase a little more. all the atoms are done. So now it's going to be easier to have the molecules. So I will select this one here. I will press Ctrl D. See, it will be placed beside. I will select both of them, this one and this one, and now the magic key is about to happen. Press Shift A. So we have auto layout over here too, and I will change the direction. It's gonna be vertical, and 40 I'm gonna increase just to be similar to what I was doing before. Cool. I'm gonna call pages or frames, something like this, just for a matter of organization. And here, if I click once, I select this frame, name it atoms. And if I click once, I select here. But here we have these, I'm gonna call elements, just to have things more organized. Elements, pretty cool. And here, let's see what we do. We are grouping all the checkboxes. So let's do that too. I'm gonna select here and here. I'm gonna copy from here actually these elements. I press and hold Alt. I click and drag, then I drop like here. And I have my checkboxes. So I'm gonna play exactly the same I'm playing over here. But the direction is slightly different. So what I can do, I just change the auto layout direction. See all the benefits of the auto layout. Really cool. I can even change the order. For example, here I select here and I go to my keyboard and I press up arrow. See the magic? I can duplicate. Things will have the same spacing. It's perfect. Here, I think it has to be lighter, just like this. Yes, better. Okay, cool. Now I want to bring my little icons. So I have them here. I'm gonna copy, press and hold Alt, click and drag around, move around, then release, just drop. Cool. Drag and drop. Now I can remove the auto layout from here. Then I will press Ctrl Shift G because it's gonna be like a frame and I don't wanna have any frame. So I will ungroup and I don't have more any group. So I want to place this little icon here, but that's gonna be impossible because I have auto layout. In this case, I have a little hack to help us with this. I will select this one, press and hold Shift, select this one, group them, Ctrl G. Now they are the same element, right? Cool. I can copy this name from here, paste here. Now I have check and I can call that background, for example. It's gonna be better to be more organized. Now if I click once, I will select this little thing. But if I come here like check, I go to my keyboard and I press many times up arrow, see what happens. It's like magic. And now I can centralize things better. I can select the background, click in twice, press and hold Shift, select here. Now I can come here, align like this. It's gonna be perfect. And I have this element. See, it's just amazing. I can press Shift A, right? It's gonna be a auto layout, but an element because I grouped it before. I can transform a group into an auto layout. See, this little icon here, 3 lines, it represents a auto layout. But now I don't have that background anymore. The background is the color of this auto layout. So I just have this auto layout with this little check. But that works. It's pretty good. So we got this. And we have the partial Let's see, we have these active selected. Let's see this here, active selected to. I'm gonna Control D. I'm gonna rename here to a little more space. It's a checkbox, it's active, and it's partially selected. I can type like partially. Double L? I don't remember. I really don't. Partially. I think it's this way. You can correct me later on. Like I said before, not my mother language, so sometimes with the grammar, some little thing here and there might be a problem. Not exactly a problem, but see what happened. I just cut and I pasted inside here, and then I can delete. See? But now we have the first problem. See what happened? It's not a big thing. We can solve this really quickly. We have just to return to have 16 by 16, like here. It's hug. It has to be fixed and fixed. Then 16 by 16. Amazing. Here, the same one. Because when we apply AutoLayout, we have to constrain some things here and there. So change it to fixed width and fixed height. 16 by 16. And centralize it here. Here it's already centralized, so we got any problem. But it's better to, to come here and to do that again. This line is annoying me. Let's see how we can deal with that. No. Yeah, something here. Maybe if we transform this boring, this upsetting line into a shape, press Ctrl Shift O. Yes, because before that was a line and now it's a shape, so it will fit better. Like here, we can do the same. Ctrl Shift O, or right click, and we have this possibility here, outline stroke. Much better. So it's important to convert to outline stroke to work better. So we got first one, second one, third one, and now we got, I can delete these here and these here too. Okay, it's gonna be the way it is. We gotta duplicate this one here, move down. We can go in our keyboard and just move down. This color here, same color that was before. We can select from some place like this, or we have our reference, our atoms. It's amazing. I can pick up from here for instance. Okay, cool. And now I'm duplicating this one too, moving down with my arrow, and I'm going to pick the color from here. So I did all I needed just right here. 16. I can increase even more just to separate a little more. Cool. I can cut, Ctrl X. I select it here. What's this frame name? This one is atoms. This one has to be molecules. Cool. I'm gonna paste inside of this. Okay, I can delete here. I can ungroup actually. I can remove the auto layout. I can ungroup, and I can delete. I click twice, like, and then I can select. So I don't need this one here anymore. I will cut the buttons here. I will, oops, I'm sorry. I will align a little better it here, then I can align it again, just to be similar. It doesn't have to be perfect, just similar. Let's see, like this, pretty okay. And then it's time to buttons. I cut the buttons, like I said before. I cut them. I'm gonna paste here in nowhere. Then I can move here. Pretty cool. Here I don't have all the buttons, but they should be here. We are going to make them here. And then it's necessary to have the texts too. Okay. Mainly I will not copy, I will just move. I click twice, then twice again, press and hold shift, then I just move. So these elements, they will be out of the auto layout, and I can move around like dragging and then dropping. Okay. So now I will move and paste it here. Same thing happens. I can resolve this problem many ways. Like I showed you before, I could select both of them. I can group, then I can like click twice, select both of them again, click here, and it's not a matter of title, that should be label, and that has to be centralized. I'm gonna click here, it's important, and then label. Let me see in the items section, title, label. So let's change title. That should be text or label. I'm gonna go the same one, label. Cool. So I have this button. I can remove the auto layout and I can press Ctrl Shift G. So they are independent right now. I can select one or the other. I can even remove the group over here. See, it's a group. I can just remove the group. So I have this text. I'm gonna call label, and I have button ghost active. Just perfect. Select it and then transform into a auto layout. So Shift A. Doesn't work. Doesn't work because we have to group before. Yes, it's a little tricky. If I group, cool. Now I have to call the group with this name that I want. This thing's gonna disappear, so I don't have to call like background anymore, because it's gonna disappear like I said, like we did before. I just need to select right now, and now I can press here auto layout or Shift A, and now I have this button. It's not a component, but it's kinda component. Really cool. Let's see if the text increases its size, the button will follow. Cool. Now I will duplicate this one, Ctrl D, bring it here. This one is gonna be button ghost inactive. So let's have the same name and same color for the border. So we can pick up the same color, we can copy the color from here and apply to the text. So we have the second button we didn't consider before. I actually didn't consider before when I was planning the tutorial doing the molecules, but now I just realized it is important to have. So we have this button. Then the other one, we have this button over here, button field active, and the label is white. Same thing, I select both of them, centralizing. Where is the label? The label is behind, so I cut, select here, paste. Okay, now that works. And like I told before, we have to group. So Ctrl G, I'm gonna apply the right name, button, field, active. This background doesn't matter, like we saw before. Auto layout, amazing. Doing buttons with auto layout, much more flexible. Okay, cool. And then we need to have one more. We can duplicate this one. There are many ways to duplicate, I showed you before. And the name is gonna be button field inactive. Just perfect. Button field inactive, same color that we have here, just perfect. And now let's have a component for this button. It's really cool. And for the checkboxes too. I showed you many time ago, but then we didn't talk anymore about components. But now it's time, I think so. Press Shift A. We got a auto layout over here. I'm gonna call buttons. Cool. Gonna have this spacing just to reference, right? We can change the direction like this. We can place it here. Cool. Then we have two of them. We can align like this. See, things are so easy to work with when we have auto layout. I'm gonna apply auto layout over here too. Everything is well aligned. We can do like this, we can do like that. It's just perfect. And then we got this line over here, this divider. And I'm gonna select this divider. I'm gonna place it here. Let's see what happens. So the line is here. It's not a problem to me because that's organized, whatever. Cool. And now, like I told you before, I'm gonna select, clicking twice. We selected the first button. Click here and we create a component. Select here and create a component. We don't need to name things because we named it before. Click here, create a component, click here and create a component. See, I showed you before many time ago that when we are talking about components and instances, they have a little slightly difference. Let me demonstrate here. Screenshot really quickly. See. We don't use components to do layouts. We use instances of the components. The components, they are just like this, 4 little diamonds filled. So once that I do a component, I don't use components to do layouts. It's important. So all the time you select elements, you see, oh, I have 4 little diamonds. It's a component. I can't use this component to do layout. It's really important. Don't use components. When we want to use some instance, we can select, for example, I want to use this one here. I copy, I go to the place that I want to go, and then I use the instance. See, the instance is a big outlined diamond. I'm gonna do some screenshot over here so you can see it better. See the difference? The little icon, the little element. This is the difference between a component and a instance. Because with the instance, I can do whatever thing I want. I can change its color like this. Can change like this too. Because they are part of the instance, I can come here and do this, do that, you know, can do whatever I want. But if I go to my master component, it's here, same way. So this is the good thing to play with components. And then when I want to step back, I just come here and I reset all changes, and it's an instance again. And I just realized it when I do like this and like this, my label is not following what I want. So I go to my component, click twice, and here I can select the center part. Same thing for here. Oops, what happened? Okay, center here too, center here too. All the states of my components, and see, it's in the middle right now, flexible. This is the right way, and then I go to the right size. Cool. Let me see which more. Yes, it's perfect. Cool, really cool. And then let's see what more. For example, if I'm doing some screens, like okay, I need to have a button here and button here, I'm gonna apply AutoLayout in both of them. I'm gonna call like okay, button, something like this and that. But this one here, it has to be a ghost button. How can I change? I just come here, I open this little chevron over here, and then I have here local components, right? And then I have fields. I have two, active, inactive. See the importance of the organization. Then I can step back here. I have field and I have ghost. Two categories. I open it here and I have active. Just perfect, you know. This is the master right here, and this is the instance. I can swap the instance the way I want. For example, backs, something like this, and next. Just perfect. Cool. The same happens for the checkboxes. I could transform in components. Actually, we are going to do that same thing, but come with me. We can make components selecting all the elements at once. So when we select, I'm clicking twice until I get here. Then I press and hold shift, and I'm selecting all of them one by one. And see here, I have this little chevron, this little down arrow. I can open it here. I can create one component, or I can create a multiple components. I will press here. So I accelerated my process. So I have many components at once. Pretty cool, right? All of them that I need. Okay, and then if I'm doing some layout and I need to have some checkbox, something like this, I can copy, I can paste. There are many ways to bring a component to life. I'm demonstrating one way. The other way is like here, I can go to assets, and then I have all my things organized, my other files too, right? But here I have components, item, icon, dialog, blah blah blah. We have many things like checkboxes, for example, buttons too. We have many buttons. See, like here we have these components, button here. See here, from other tutorial, from other tutorial, from other tutorial. You see, we can use many ways here too. Frames, button, and checkboxes, they are all here. But the difference is when I am using these components from this tutorial, the 18 tutorial, and it's important to move the components to the right sections, because we can create a place named components. For example, I have it here. See, I have one page named components, and over there normally I place all the components from all tutorials, so it's gonna be easy to go there to update if that's necessary, or to do something like this. So we could, for example, come here, buttons, right? I will bring the masters to the place that I want, right? And here I can have, for example, just the the instance. So I'm gonna cut. I just cut. I will come here to the component and I will paste it here. See, so I have similar buttons. I just did those buttons because I was trying to demonstrate that to you. I can remove the auto layout, for example, Ctrl Shift G. See, I have these little 4 diamonds. They are exactly the same. I just did to demonstrate again, to reinforce how to make components. But now when I go to assets, see, here in the 18 tutorial named table, I don't have components more. They are named local components because they are in this page named components layers. I have this page named components where I am right now, and all my buttons are here now. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the other assets. I'm gonna go to the tutorial 18 and I'm gonna actually let me have these buttons ordered again just as a reference to be here in my molecule sections. So I'm gonna have again like label again, and something like this. So I have 2 of them, then I need to have 4 more. I don't remember the right order, but we can go to assets. We can open. I don't want to use this page components. I want to go to see components buttons. We have fields. Yeah, fields. Ghost. Cool. So let's go like this. Before I'm gonna change this instance. Fields. Oh, I'm sorry again. Ghost. Active, inactive, and then we have field. Active, inactive. It's easier to change. See, really easier. So those buttons over here, they are just to make that sure they are instance because they are one big diamond outlined. Cool. So I can move to here. Things are gonna be organized. I can increase like this too. Pretty cool. Easy to work with. So it's important to do the same with the checkboxes. So let me see the order that I did. Let's see. I'm gonna go here because I don't have auto layouts here. Because sometimes auto layout is good, sometimes auto layout can annoy us. Okay. Fill is not good for here. Yeah, just removing the fill, but yeah, it's not the master, so whatever. If we need to change to remove this fill color, we have to go to the master, this one here, and removing. Boom. So first one, now it's time to duplicate, move around. I can apply auto layout, Shift A, check boxes, pretty cool. I'm gonna change the instance. Next one's gonna be active selected. What happened? What did I do? Something is wrong. I selected wrongly. I'm sorry. Let's see what I did. No. What's happening? Maybe. No, it's okay. I didn't got that. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I will copy again. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna copy all of them, and all of them, they are gonna be instances. Let's see if I change it here. Yeah, I just copied wrongly. I'm sorry, guys. Cool. Let me step back. Okay. So I can copy this way. I don't need to organize. That's good. I'm gonna cut from here. It's important to cut and not to copy. I'm gonna go to the components section. Let's see if I have some. Yes, I already had checkboxes here. Don't be angry with me. Like I said before, it's important to exercise. Pretty good. Ungroup, ungroup. We got what you need. Pretty cool. So when we go to our assets right now, we see exactly this. We are here, table. I'm gonna move this auto layout into here. Cool. The items are done. We have components for them. It's gonna be easier a little ahead. Okay, now we got just the organisms, organizing buttons and organizing the small elements. So it's gonna be easier because, like I said before, we have auto layout. So I'm gonna move, not copying, but moving from here. Let me see how many lines in this table I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. I can just, like, to speed up the process, I'm gonna delete, 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 and delete. Okay, and Control D, 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 Control D many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. 7, 8, something like this. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna remove the auto layout. Control Shift G to ungroup, because I want to have this information here. It's not title, it's label. I was wrong. Okay. Title, yeah. Okay. Label. That was right. Cool, cool, cool. Cool again. So I'm gonna move this label, and I'm gonna have, like, oh my god, it's label, not title. Label here. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate, select all of them, Shift A. I'm gonna call, like, arrow, not arrow, narrow, column, line, not line, I forgot the right word. Narrow, arrow, whatever. I'm gonna call line. Then when I remember that, I'm gonna call properly by the middle, 8 pixel grid, something like this. Label, label, label 3. I can just duplicate this. Now see, I love to speed up things. I have this line, right? I can even increase this a little bit, and then I'm gonna duplicate. I duplicated, but it went so far. Delete. Come here again, select, press and hold Alt, drag and drop. Okay, I select both of them, both of the lines. And now I'm gonna call lines, for instance, because a table is made of many lines. 8 pixels grid, 8 plus 8, 16, and I can duplicate many times. 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. Okay, so it's an organism because I joined atoms, molecules, and then finally I have this organism, right? Same for the labels. I can delete because it's being really closer to what I need. So I think that I can have another organism right here, like this. Oops. Yes, I have to be aware of the auto layout because I have a column of auto layout right here. So selecting both of them, I don't have the auto layout anymore because the auto layout is here, because I separated them. I have buttons here, but I need to do that again. Buttons here too. Buttons, and then I can have something like this, and here like this. But normally the button to go next is normally in the right side, so I will select and press the right key, right arrow on my keyboard, and here the same. Pretty good. So I have another organism here and here, because many atoms, molecules, organisms. Cool. Here I'm drawing many things. It's cool. And that could be a good idea. Let me see, because the title is cool too. I'm gonna bring this title over here, and this title, oops, the auto layout. Yes, I have to use this space here. Cool. I'm gonna copy one like this. It's type. I will paste inside. Then I can use the previous auto layout. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I can try. See, I can select here, move here. Yes, works. And I'm gonna call header, change it name. Then I can use like 16, 24. Let me see what I use it here, so I can use exactly the same thing. Let me think a little bit about, and that's gonna be cool. All right. So if we are using the same one, let me see here again. Cool. 24. I'm gonna use the same one. 24. Okay, it's cool. So we have title, duplicate, duplicate. So we are joining many molecules. We got an organism. See how things are done normally when we are talking about user interfaces. So now I'm moving it here. Cool. I'm moving it here too. And now it's getting a little complicated. You see, because I don't have enough space. So what I can do is I can do auto layout before I move things here. For example, this could be one more auto layout. I can select both of them. See, buttons plus buttons, Shift A, auto layout. Can call buttons again, not a problem. Then I move here. Now it's okay. Then I can move these lines here too, because I have, oops, I'm sorry, move down. I have more space right now. Can organize better things on top or not, you decide. I can even decrease the distance, or I don't have to do that. But see, we have more room to do what we need to do right now. 24, 24. Why that? Whatever. Okay. And now we are almost done. It's time to do the templates. So let's do the templates. It's gonna be easier now. I can even delete these parts we already did or not. Yeah, let's let that here. I'm going just to move things a little to this side to have more room to do what we need. I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, we need to increase its size as I saw. And now it's time to template. So we need to organize things. I'm gonna move down like here. It's gonna be easier. I'm gonna remove the auto layout. I'm gonna press Ctrl Shift G, and now I'm gonna join things. So we have this and this line here. So I'm gonna remove the auto layout, Ctrl G. I have this header, right? And then I'm gonna use the space I taught you before, like 24 for example, and on top 24 too. Let's see if that works. Okay, and now I'm moving to here, minus 24. I'm working with auto layout, so let's see, left and right. It's a good practice too, left and right, and here top. Yes, then I will tell you the reason. Okay, we got this. Now we need to have this line, right? Let's place the line here. I'm gonna put this a little, no, that's okay. I will zoom in and out. I'm gonna move all my belongs to this position to be closer, so it's gonna be easier to see. Cool. So this line, let's see what I did here. I'm gonna go E8, E8, E8. More lighter, right? I'm gonna occupy all the space here. 16, 24, 24, 16. That's okay. 24, 24, 16. This distance should be a little closer. Cool, not a problem. Okay, I'm gonna put all my elements in the left side so I can be even closer to my reference. Cool. Now it's time to place the lines here of this table. The distance, let's see, 16, 22, okay, 16. Cool. The space between the lines, it's 24. Here it's 16, so let's increase it. And let's see one by one now. 32. So let's go 32. 32 here. I will select all of them one by one, one by one, one by one, and then I go 32. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. To enjoy a little more the space, I can go 40, for example. It's not a problem. 40 here too, and here too. Let's see if 40 fits well. Yes, it does. 14 here, it's 14 too. Yes, the same one, but the typography is different. Here I'm using Poppins, and here Roboto. No mind. Let's see, I could use 32 here too. Yes, to have more space. In my opinion, it's gonna be better. I don't know your opinion, you decide. Okay, I could have this line over here. I could even use auto layout here. See, I'm gonna select my 3 here. It's gonna be a good idea to align here, and then minus 24, and then constrain like here, left and right. A good practice. Okay, I could apply auto layout, like selecting all my elements, Shift A. Now I can call something like elements. Cool. I will duplicate this line. I'm gonna move down, see what happens. All the things, they get organized. It's so easier. 16, I'm gonna increase a little to 24. Yeah, looks great. I prefer this way, but you decide. If you think it has too much space, you can change. Okay, and now it's time to we are going to use this ghost button exactly here, and the other one exactly here. We are gonna select two of them, Shift A, buttons. Okay, we are going to place inside of the auto layout, but down here. Let's see if that fits well. Let's increase a little. Spacing too much. 32, 24 is okay. Let's see. We can have different spaces if we want, like 24 and here 43. I can, for example, remove. Oops. If I want, I move the buttons here and I have them separate. It's a practice too. It's not a problem. And then I can have, like, let me see, 24 by 24. Let's see how that works. Maybe it's not gonna be good. 32 by 32. 24, one more, 24. And now I can move it here. Let's see, something like this, minus 24. Then I have a practice really good here. We can open these three dots. This spacing mode packet we can open and go with space between left and right. Because space, I don't know what's happening, but space between. Let's see. Auto. No. Let's see, 32, 0, something like this. Because space between, let's see if I increase that much. Yeah, normally the space between, it's gonna be the space we have, and the elements they will accommodate in that space. Here, huge content. Yes, perfect. See, this is the space between. If I move things here, see, it will adjust. So this is the space between. Yeah, but that's wrong. 24, that has to be 24 here. By 16, no. Left. Doesn't work. This way, center, left, and right. Work more for texts. Okay, space between 16. Yeah, see, this is the space between. I will do more tutorials like this, so don't be afraid. Okay, something like this. That might be good, might not be good. If you don't like, you can go like, oh, I want to have 32 here, you know, to enjoy more the space. If you don't like, you can, for example, remove the auto layout, Ctrl G, and then you can organize things by yourself, having just some elements with auto layout. But you can go here like, I wanna have 24 here. I want to have 24, but I want to have just auto layout in these elements here. It's possible too. And we have all this flexibility. See, you decide. I will let that with you. For example, if you want to go with one more line just to enjoy more of the space, it's possible too. You decide. Design works like this, you know. We have to step back to look carefully to the things we want to design, and so on. It's part of our job. 16, yeah, something similar. Maybe sometimes to adjust the space we want, we have to break the rules. Like, for example, here it's not 16, but here it is 16. Like the space between the elements, it's possible to make too, you know. You decide the better way to have this experience. Something like this. haven't not working properly. So I'm gonna remove it, and I'm aligning by myself. 16 and here 18. Now let's see what's happening. I'm being so careful, maybe in parts that they are not necessary. See, not working here, maybe here and here, maybe 1, 2, 3, yes. Or maybe just for a matter of layout, it's possible to do something like this too. Like, okay, I will diminish its size and things will fit properly. Yeah, just like this. Okay, cool. So we have this first page. So now it's gonna be easier to change the state. We just open it here, inactive for a while, and this is active. Cool. So we have this first one. All the things are gonna be so easier from now. The next one is all selected. So I'm gonna duplicate this page. I'm gonna make a auto layout. I'm gonna call pages, frames, whatever you decide. And now I have to select all the elements. It's gonna be easier. I just need to change, like selected, and I click here. Selected one by one. Selected. 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 No magic, but it's so much easier this way. Selected. Selected. And selected. When I select at least one checkbox, this button gets active like this and not inactive. Cool. Okay, so easy when we work with components. First one, partially, it's gonna be easier too, because this first one is the only partially selected. So I just click here, and then I will unselect some of them, like this one, this one, this one, for example, unselected. And I can proceed with some unselected checkboxes because I don't need to select all of them in this case. I have 2 more screens. Let's see what happens. This one here, it's gonna be inactive, unselected, all gray, all gray. Okay. Inactive, because things are unselected. There is one case that I didn't draw, but we can go to components. One is it's here. Inactive, unselected. I didn't see that before. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize, but I'm not seeing. Let's see. Not appearing here. Maybe that's not a component. Curious. Let's solve the problem. Check. There is something here. I don't know what it is. Not gonna use this for now. Let me see if this is a real component. Checkbox, inactive, and selected. What we can do is, for example, I can copy from here. I can cut. I can step back to the tutorial, and I can paste it here. Now I know what happened. I'm gonna go to fix this. I'm gonna go to the master component. But the master is here. And this is the instance. But I don't know. Maybe I know what's happened. Checkbox, inactive, unselected. Inactive, active, unselected. It's a tricky. I don't know. Because that should be appearing like here. For example, I select, I open it here, and I can see all the I got this. Yes, it's just in other place. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. Okay, I just need to step back. The way I name it, like active, but here I have many that aren't active. So I have to fix this because there are inactive elements like this. So it's cool to go to the main component and to name properly. Active, unselected, active, active. This one is inactive. This one is inactive too. So inactive. And this one is named wrongly. Inactive too. Now when we go to the tutorial page, I need to change it here. See what happens. I have 3 actives and 3 inactives, and that's right now. Yeah. So naming is really important when we are working with components. Changing to inactive, 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 inactive. Changing more to inactive. We are almost there, guys. Don't worry. Inactive, inactive, inactive. More inactive. We could copy and paste as well. That could work without any problem. But this is the faster way, I think so. And just one more. Okay, inactive. And for the texts, we could select, like I have a trick here. Press and hold Ctrl, click Alt, and then go covering all those labels. And then we can just come here and apply some light gray. The same for the header over here. It's gonna be faster. Something like this. Cool. So we covered this screen over here, and there is this screen over here with the selected and inactive. Thinking better, we could have some situation like this too, unselected, inactive, but it's too much. Just go this way and things are going to be good for us. Okay, click twice. This one here. Here we can do something like this. I can count, like I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's gonna be faster if I delete all of those over here and I duplicate this here. That's right. I select the line, Ctrl D. I don't have AutoLayout anymore, I'm sorry. But I'm gonna apply AutoLayout with 2 of them here. My name, elements. Now I can duplicate. It's gonna be perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna delete this one here. Perfect. We covered all the things. So now it's time to cut from here, for example, let's go to our place. Let's place inside of this page. Select all elements here, select the background, and then is it possible to align? I don't know. Yes, but now I'm working with pages. I don't select the page itself and the element. I select only the element, and then I can align like this. Okay, very good. I can move a little here just to have some consistency with this one here. Then talking about page, we need to think about some real application for that. In our case, purchase list, we need to have a title over here. We didn't plan with this 20. It's gonna be easier. What I have to do is write in a text purchase list, for instance, 20 medium Roboto. Okay, then I have to insert it here in this little page, and I have to align it, so I can delete, for example, this line over here. If I had applied AutoLayout, things they were going to be easier and better now, but it's not the end of the world. I can apply the AutoLayout now, for example. No, didn't work that good, so I'm gonna go the easy way. Just respecting the 8 pixels grid, it's gonna be okay. 24 8 16, something like this might work. Let me see what I did here. Yes, and when we talk about a real page, that might be a good idea to bring this Android navigation bar and this status bar as well. So in other tutorials, like in almost all of them, we have this. You can see, like here, for example, and like here when we talked about checkboxes. So it's not a big deal to draw from scratch. We can just use what we already did, like status bar. Okay, and I can paste it here. Status bar. Then move things a little down. Oh, AutoLayout, or at least a group that could work too. Just to speed up the process. Let's see. Yes, pages. Cool. Something like 16, I think so. This bar is positioned wrongly. Now it's okay. I'm gonna group. Let me see now. Yes, 16, 24, something like. I'm gonna group rather than using AutoLayout this time. I'm gonna group. Yep, it's gonna be easy to move. 24, maybe 16 or 24 by 24 to have more space. Now I can delete one line, because think about the scroll. Let's suppose that we have some scroll over here, so we need to scroll the page. That could be the thing too. Okay, increasing here to accommodate the Android navigation bar, because like I said before, we are talking about pages. So templates, yes, pages. It's a real page. Then we don't need to do this part here. I just need to demonstrate you how things work. I'm gonna increase a little bit now, it's necessary, and increase a little here too, something like this. 24 here. 24? Yes, 24. Cool. Yes, you work there, you will see the problems that happens, and they are necessary. They are part of our design. Yeah, 48. Yeah, things work it. Something like this. I'm gonna make a auto layout only with these elements over here. Shift A, list. Whoops, what I did. Yes, that's okay. So I have more flexibility to play now. Like, oh, I want to have something, see, like this. I have more room to do things that I want. Oops. Like this. Maybe like, yeah, something like this. Yeah, you got my point. 24, 48, 65. I could have more space to have something like this. 16, yeah. Still good. Maybe 16 here, I don't know. Maybe here and here. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So we have this one here, right? This one I'm gonna call purchase list food grams calories. So but now, yeah, we will discover any more problems. It's gonna be a little tricky this time with auto layout, because things, they go this way, but each word is gonna be different. So it's important to think about how things, they will be like this. Food grams calories. Let's see. Food grams cal, the abbreviation grams cal, yeah, something like this. Okay, now let's fill up apple orange pure garlic. We see apple orange pure garlic meal, banana, avocado, and I don't know, sugar, salt. See, things are totally unorganized. It is because we should do something like this, like fixing its size. Sometimes that's necessary, or there are other ways to do that, but let's go this way for now. 46 for all of them. Let's see, avocado is huge. 56 for all of them. Getting the avocado is the bigger one, so we can go using the same for all. Fixed width avocado. Yeah, so we got that now. And talking about the grams, in this case, I don't know if you really need, because like 3 numbers. Yes, we do. We have to have the same space here. 48, like this bigger one. So 48 for all. Select, press and hold Control Shift, and then select one after one after one by one. Fixed width, I don't remember, but I can go like 80. Too much, and then I go diminishing. Like to have something like grams. See? Then whatever numbers, you know, we call that dummy data, just to have something to fill and to demonstrate to the stakeholders, to the developers, like, hey guys, look here, when the interface will be ready, it will look like more or less this way. So it's possible to see what happens, something like this. And calories, like the same, some numbers, random numbers like 40, 5, 3, 2, 3, just random. And now we can't proceed because the buttons, they are not appearing the way they should. So you know what happened. So here we have to repeat all those steps. Yes, and you are thinking that user interface design is something easy to do, but I have something to tell you. No, it isn't. 40, 1, 2, 3. Now AutoLayout, because sometimes I prefer to take the screen that is almost done, rather than taking screens that I have to work a lot. Like we have lots of screens here, but it was necessary to change the spacing, the texts, you know, the Android navigation bar, the status bar. So I prefer to go this way, because here I just need to change the icons. I can even copy from here if I want. It's gonna be easier. Like I said before, many ways to work, like this. Can go like this, like this, like this. Then I come back deleting what I need. See, it's gonna be easier. It seems like, oh my god, I have to do a lot of things I don't want, but it's part of it, it's part of the job description. This is the life of the designer. There is no different life for us. I can press and hold shift and control, and then it's gonna be easier like this. No, it's not gonna be easier like this. What I'm doing something that okay, I'm deleting parts, invisible parts of the elements, so it's better to select one by one. I can, yeah, yes, clicking, yeah, almost there. But now those labels, they are not named labels anymore. Previous and next. Cool. We are having problems here too, see? No, previous, pretty good. And next. I thought we are going to have problems here, but no. Previous. Next. Maybe the 8 pixels grid, like I said before. 31, yeah, you know, yeah. But in this case, we can increase a little like this, or we can increase a little more. This one here to be, let's see, something like this, 24 by 24, right? Just one more. Cool. And then we can copy from here. We can delete here and paste. But selecting this page, like clicking twice, now we paste. No, out of the place, home, yeah. Okay, and changing the instance, like now it's active because I selected all the elements to proceed. Then I click out, I click twice again, Control D. I have auto layout already here, so it's going to be easier to proceed. This partially selected is going to be easier to just having one like this. This one will be something like unselected, one more unselected, just one more unselected. Totally awesome. Just two more. I can enjoy this one here, duplicate, and then no, the wrong one. This one here. No, that's right, but duplicated here. I want to go and move to here. Now it's right. Cool. So this one is the first one. I just want to make the auto layout in the right way. Now it's okay. Pages here, second, partially in this one here, and for this one here, like we can just change things. Like this one's gonna be inactive and unselected. I have to do with all of them. Like I said before, this is a boring part, right? But we have to do. It's part of our job. The text, too. I can use the same gray. Let's see if we have enough contrasts. Yeah, let's go this way. We could use a text with more contrast, but for a while I don't wanna go to talk about accessibility. Even accessibility is really important, but in the future I'm planning to make more tutorials only about accessibility, so it's not time, not now. They have low contrasts here, but I have to disable this button too. In this case, active, inactive. See, I love to play with components, really. I'm like a kid with my building blocks, just playing around and smiling to myself. This is really cool when things are organized. I would like to, while I'm doing these mechanic movements over here, mechanic adjustments, I would like to ask you, please guys, please subscribe to my channel, please hit the like button. It's really important to me. It might help the video to reach out other people so the channel can grow up. You can help me really a lot, and can help other people too. So please, if you have a little time, don't let to do that in the end of the tutorial. Try to do that right now, because if you let to make it in the end, you will forget, like I do. If I do that in the end, I will forget the last part. Oh my god, it's so exciting. Thank you for watching. I will talk with you while I'm doing this mechanic thing. Thank you for watching my tutorial. I really appreciate, really, I'm so thankful for doing this sort of things. Like I said before, it's like a win-win thing, because like I said in the very beginning of the tutorial, I think so, I normally study English a lot. Every single day I try to study as much as possible, many hours per day, but I feel that it's not enough. And doing tutorials, I can be here like 1 hour, 1.5 hours. hours, 2 hours speaking without stopping, then it's good to me and good for you too, I think so. Okay guys, so let's recap all we did. We did atoms, right? Then we jump into molecules. Then we jumped into organisms. Then we did templates. And then finally we did pages. So thank you again for watching this tutorial. I really hope this one here is going to help you in your designer journey, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye, see you guys, take care.